balancing the scales. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Balancing the Scale with O and
V.
We are so excited about being back here today. We're sipping our tea. I got a little bit of a cold, so my voice may sound a little raspy initially, but nevertheless, let's pay some bills. First of all, we just want to let you know that we appreciate you for jumping in. We're very grateful for your experiences while here on the planet. Your existence is very important, and every single moment of your life means something. There's no moment within your life that is not valuable to your existence, not just for yourself, but to everyone that's close to you, family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, classmates. You're very valuable. You're very important. So thank you and much love to you. So, V, we have an interesting topic today. And I know I may not sound like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this topic. Because it's one of those kind of topics that people like to say you don't touch with a 10-foot pole. So today's topic, this one in politics. So I think I just gave it away. So today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons to religion.
To religion or of leaving religion?
I would say, we can say leaving religion because we technically left religion.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yes.
Or is it to religion?
I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of phone calls about this one.
Well, I get a lot of phone calls anyway, so I'm just living at this point.
Go ahead and start it then.
So anyways, we have an interest on the pros and cons to religion. We'll just say to religion. We wrote down a list of things. Well, we're gonna try not to be too long on this subject matter because religion and politics are one of those things where, it's really about the mental state of the individual and, the things that they hold true to themselves, their values, their core values, and different things like that, right? So, without further ado, since my beautiful host, aka my wife, is joining me on this subject matter, I'm going to ask her to start us off with either her pros or cons, whatever she's like, and then I will join in on the festivities.
Well, I think that first, to be clear, this is not a pros or cons to believing in God or to God or anything about God. Mm-hmm. This is a pros and cons to religion. And so I have a couple of pros. I'll start with saying that I think that religion provides a space for like-minded people to gather. And I think that there's a lot of power in people coming together for a certain cause, with a certain mindset and or faith, and people that do this can accomplish really great things. And I think that religion provides a space for people to be able to do that routinely. And so I think that that's a really strong pro.
Well, actually, that's interesting because I actually have that as one of my cons to religion. I think that, and I kind of have it wrote down here, I said that it intrudes on true morality, which means that I feel that religion sometimes causes people to not truly think about why they're morally doing a thing, because they're trying to base it on whether or not they're being good or bad in that moment, instead of just, this is just the right thing to do. So it's not necessarily something that they're just acting on behalf of their natural instincts, because a lot of times if you look at religions throughout history and overall, they will do a thing based on their faith, not necessarily because it is intended to be righteous or righteous naturally. So that's why I marked it down as one of my cons.
Wait, but I'm confused. So you're saying that religion makes people not do things that are right or good. Instead, they do things that support their faith. So, for example, let's say an extremist person says that I'm supposed to kill you because you don't believe in the faith that I believe. And so in that way, religion is not really guiding that person towards morality, but really guiding them towards, you have to justify whatever you got to do just to support your own faith. That's what you're saying?
Right, basically, and
But does religion do that, or do fanatics do that? Like people who are extreme?
Well, remember, we're not basing it on God, the construct of a creator. We're basing it on religion within itself, because religion within itself, to me, is a box that people place their consciousness in or themselves in, which brings me to my second con, actually. It's literally a box of bondage. It binds your mind to basically one form or expression of spirituality within yourself. So therefore, if it's confining you to this box, then a person who acts in that way, like, do extreme things, they may say, praise God or praise Allah or praise Jesus, they deserve that. Because I've literally had people tell me, because I don't think like them, that they want to fight me and it's for God. I've literally had people come to my page and tell me that, these are God's people standing up to rebuke you. In reality, they attacked me because I didn't share the same sentiments as them. But they cannot see that is a box, or a religious box that they've confined their consciousness in. It's not like I was necessarily going at them in attack. It was an expression of what I've encountered and what I've studied, throughout my years of religiosity. So
I can agree that that's one of my biggest cons, that it does confine all the ways that you could possibly express your faith to a certain set of practices and things that are more traditional than anything else. And so I do think that people who would like to burn sage, or who would like to have crystals, or who would like to meditate, sometimes can't do that under certain religious branches, because that's looked at as like, oh, that's weird, or that's witchcraft, or that's voodoo, when really, if we had a more open mind about just like, this is a place where you explore your faith, but you can also explore outside of this. I think people would be a little bit more free. So I agree. I think that's one of my biggest cons about religion. But another pro, I would have to say, is the music.
Yeah, that was one of my pros, actually. I would say that one of the things that I miss the most is the music. Okay. And when I say the music, it's the music of just the church itself. Not that religion has defined music, because religion and music are two separate things. It's just that within the confinements of religion, we just so happen to discover this bountiful creation called music. And music was long before religion, or Christianity or whatever, or any form of religion was out there. But it's something about that form of music that has like a certain attachment to me, and I think it's because I have like an emotional connection to it since I was a kid. But it has birthed so many different musicians out there who grew up in a religious home, and then they just kind of began to expand themselves once they realized, oh, it's not about being in the box of religion, it's about understanding the art of music overall.
Okay. And I agree with all of that. I think that music is one of the things that I miss the most about not going to church regularly anymore. Because I really do think it evokes a lot of emotions that you sometimes need help tapping into, and help like getting it out, expressing it. Another pro, I would say that religion provides routine, which can seem like a con, but I think that you need a bit of routine to help you establish a pattern that's going to strengthen your faith in time or overall. So I think that you need a space that you can attend to, whether that is at your home or whatever the case may be, at a person's house that you guys gather, but you need a space that happens perhaps weekly, where you can go and talk about your faith and talk about, ways that it's being challenged or ways in which it's growing. And I think that and I have experienced this with us not going to church regularly, that you don't really have that space. And it's very difficult sometimes to create that space consistently in your life. And people such as children, I think, benefit a lot from routine and habits that going to church helps establish, because they have a place where they learn about God every single week, versus having to carve that space out in your daily life. I think that can be difficult.
Well, I mean, I think that's just the case. I mean, yeah, you hit the nail on the head when you said that it's difficult to carve out a space of your own because it's something that has not been explored. that goes back to my first point when I say it sometimes kind of it literally means to bind. If you look at the root word of the word religion, in the Latin sense, it means to bind, and like, you know, it kind of binds people's minds a bit as it relates to you know, trying to expand their expressive spirituality or express themselves spiritually. So when you say that a lot of times kids need that sort of structure, I would agree with you that kids do need a structure, but I think that the structure comes from within the parents, just their everyday life and how they're going about, you know, life, and how they're treating people, the love that they're showing to people. I think in that sense they learn that structure. And also I think that over time, yeah, it is a challenge initially, but if you're really willing, then, you know, you will develop what you need in order to create a spiritual space in your home.
And I think that, I'm sorry, I do think that that what I said can be both a pro and a con as I think about it, because it is a pro as in it does establish a place that you can go to, and it kind of does the homework for you. And in that sense, it is a con, because instead of you extending yourself and really working hard to make sure that you're establishing a place in your time in your week or time in your day to dedicate to the strengthening of your faith and teaching your children about that, you just let that happen. You just let the pastor take care of that for you. So you don't spend your week, you know, working the lesson that you're going to give your kids. You don't spend the week trying to break down the little verse that you're going to teach them or whatever. Instead, you put that responsibility on the pastor and on the church, and you just show up and like you receive all the information. You don't ever take part in the exploring of the text yourself or of the faith. And so I think that can limit you and limit your understanding of what you say that you believe in.
Yeah, that's big time. Actually, that's going to bring me to my next con, actually. One of the things that I feel religion is, it is like a drug. Mm-hmm. It's like a drug. You claim you want this structure and different things like that, but I mean, it's really like a drug, and people go there to get high for a moment, right? At the heightened points of the service, or the Bible study or wherever, and they get their hit, and then in 3 days they're ready to go back. So in essence, you go on Sunday, you get your high, you go back again on Tuesday or Wednesday.
But what if there's people that say, I don't get my high, I just really like learning about God, and so I go 3 times a week because I really want to learn about God. I'm not getting no high off of this.
Well, I mean, why do you want to learn about God? What are you seeking?
I'm seeking to understand my purpose in life and why I'm here.
Okay, and that's fine. So if you're seeking that you want to understand your purpose in life, can you seek to understand your purpose in life without being within religion? Is that something you can find outside of religion?
I can, but I choose to do it with, like, okay, the Bible's really complex. The Quran is really complex. These are books that have a lot of universal truths. These are books that have a lot of misconceptions. And so I need help dissecting that book, because I don't really understand it all the time. So I go to church so that the pastor and that the fellow worshipers can help me understand and learn more about my faith.
And see, I'm glad she brought that up, because the beautiful thing about being outside of the walls of religion is I can totally understand her point. And I would tell her she should continue to go. I'm totally open to that, because it's helping this individual. I feel like if I was in religion, or if I was competitive, or if I was in a box of religion, I would try to tell her why she shouldn't keep going, and just kind of spin myself into a loop-de-loop. Because a lot of times, to me, when you look at religion, it does that a lot. You know, it has many different dimensions of expressions within itself. So it expresses itself through many different layers. So, and I've been a part of that. I've been what is the word I'm looking for? A victim. I've been a victim of that, where I'll leave one expression of religion and then I'll go into another expression of religion, not realizing that it's still religion. And I think that I'm getting closer to God, when really I'm just trying to fill a hole that was there before. And then I realized, like, wow, I think I really need to start peeling back the layers of this thing, and then realize that, okay, I get it. And so therefore,
what do you get?
I get that my spiritual experiences are not capped by what I see physically in front of me. There's more. And it's okay to express that. It's okay to say that there's more and that I don't have all the answers. To get to the point to where you realize you don't have all the answers. It's
I just
it's
think
like trying to understand everything. Basically, what I'm saying is scientifically, right now, my brain can only understand certain things. And I remember when I was younger, I had this itch to just want to know more and more and more about God. And that's what kind of led me to where I am today, honestly, my thirst for God, because I realized that as I study and it was like I would go from one point to the next point to the next point, and it just keeps going. It keeps going, because it's so layered. It's so many layers to it, You have to get to the point to where you realize, like, hey, I don't have all the answers, but this is what I do know. And I'm okay with what you say and I don't have to enter into this energy of argument with you back and forth. It's a drain of energy.
A lot of people that are going to see this are going to say, oh, they've been hurt by religion so much. They've been hurt by the church. Come to my church. In my church, we don't hurt people. At my church, we're not going to force you to serve at my church. So what do you say to people who are going to look at this video and say, oh, they just must have had a really bad experience at their last church?
Yeah, I've had quite a few bad experiences, and I think bad experiences are a part of life, but you should visit my church.
Call me before you come here.
It's called Bedside Ministries.
Stop. That's not nice.
No.
Let me tell you something. Let me pro the religion. I'd rather be in church than be watching somebody's football game on Sunday. I'd rather be at church than be watching the Saints.
I hear you. I like the Saints. I enjoy them, and there's a lot of people that go to church that leave to go watch the Saints. Who that, baby?
I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm saying that
other football team, for that matter.
I'm just saying that if there's 7 days out of the week and 5 of them you're at work and one of them you're probably running errands or trying to chill with the family, blah, 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 one of them should be dedicated to doing something spiritual. And why can't that be going to church?
Why can't there be a life support group?
It can be a life support group, but I feel like you're very anti people going to church.
I'm not. I just said that if you want to go to church. Okay, so let me explain myself, okay? I think you're reaching a little bit, but
I'm not reaching. I'm just saying.
All right, so the lady came to me and said, oh, you guys have been hurt by church. You should come to my church. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been hurt a lot in my life, not necessarily by just church, but by people, period. And the people make up the church. But, I was sarcastic when I said, oh, you should come to my church. I obviously wouldn't say that to her. But I've literally let, some faiths come knock on my door and tell me about their faith. And I listened to everything that they had to say. And it's because they had their kids there and they were teaching their kids about the faith. And so I just listened and I was like, wow, thank you for the information. And I shut the door. I wasn't a douche about it because I realized that that's the space that they're in right now. And so you have to be okay with that because they're human just like I'm human. So I'm not telling you that, just because I don't have a form of religion that you shouldn't have a form of religion either. Because remember, it's many layers to religion. I could still be in religion and just not see it. Maybe 3 years down the road, I will go back and listen to this and be like, man, I've grown so much since then, because it keeps going. It keeps going,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I think that's about it on my part.
Yeah. So if I had to share or leave you with anything in closing remarks, I would say that, pros and cons to life overall are based on the individual's experiences in life. And I think that when you look at religion, I can pull pros out of religion. I can pull cons out of religion because religion is just another aspect of life. It's another form of a spiritual energy trying to express itself through mankind. God has no personality outside except in man and as man. And as we go through the waves of time, I feel that we'll constantly evolve in that way.
And my 2 cents would be that I think religion provides a place for you to express your faith. And I think that that's a good thing. And I think that that's sometimes a necessary thing for some people. But I think that it is arrogant of us to think that one religion got it right across the board. I think it's very arrogant to think that one group of people received the absolute truth from God and that everyone else in the world that's not part of that particular religion is wrong. I think it is perhaps more humble to say that you believe that your religion has a lot of truths that have worked for your life and for your experiences, and that you are perhaps open to other truths or other beliefs that are out there, but you're not desperately seeking those out right now because the religion and the faith that you have followed has kept you in a place that you're comfortable and that you feel most understood and most loved. And so I think that if we approached it from a place of, I have a truth and there may be other truths out there, you perhaps could be a little bit more kind to your fellow man than to say, I have the absolute truth and you're going to burn an eternal hell because you don't have the truth that I have.
Great words. So you guys, that's our 2 cents. Oh, by the way, I don't think religion and faith are the same. I think they're 2 different things.
No, I think faith is what you believe and religion
Right.
is how you express it.
Yeah, okay, we're on the same page. But anyway, so this has been your boy O and
B.
And we appreciate you guys for listening in. Hey, but you know what? This is just our opinions. So why don't you comment down below and let us know what you think about what we had to say today. I know we'll have some probably intriguing comments this week.
Just leave me out of them.
Yeah.
I believe in whatever you believe in. I'm on your side. Commentators.
Yeah. So yeah, comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and I'll definitely read them. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram at _balanced in the scale. You can follow us on Facebook at Balance the Scale all together, and then you can also search for us on YouTube to get the actual live video content at The Official Reload. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace, grand love to you, and we're out.